We are welcome to another maths class. In our previous class, we started with algebra. We want to continue with our introduction to algebra. We said that algebra is the representation of letters of the alphabet with numbers. And then we want to look at this Waec question. In a class of P students, the average mark is X. And in a class of N students, the average mark is Y. What is the average mark of both classes? Now, what we will do first is we want to know what is the total number of in the class of P class. The total mark there will be what? The total mark will be P times X. That's PX. PX. That will be the total mark. Now, in the class of N students, so we say N class, total mark will be N students times their average mark, which is N times Y. That's NY. PX NY. So, total marks. Now, how do we find the average? Average is total number divided by the unit number. So, the average of both classes, average mark of both classes will be the P class, PX plus NY, all over the total number of students, P students, P, total number of those in P class, and the total number of those in N class. This would be our answer. Average, the total number of students of mark in P class will be P, the total number of this number of students times their average mark. That will give us the total mark. In N class, the total mark will be the total number of students in N class. That will be N times the Y times the mark NY. Now, to find the average of both classes, we'll divide the total marks of both classes, which is PX plus NY, divided by the total number of students in that class, which is N plus P plus N. For instance, let's say P is 20 and then N is 25 here. So we have a class of 20 students here, we have a class of 25 students here. So if X is 4 and Y is, let's assume Y is 5. How do we solve this question? So the total mark in P class will be 20 number, the total number of students times the marks. That's 80. Total mark in N class, those that have N students, will be the number of students 25 times 5. That should give us 125. So the average mark for both classes will be what? Total mark of class A, of class B, plus the total mark of class N divided by total number of students in P class and total number of students in N class. That will be 125 plus 8, that's 502, that's 205 all over 45. That will be the average mark. Let's look at another question. Let's look at another Waec question. Another Waec question. The perimeter of a rectangle is 14 meters. The perimeter of a rectangle is 14 meters. And the length is x centimeter, is x meter rather, x meter. Express the breadth of the rectangle in terms of x. Express the breadth of the rectangle in terms of x. The perimeter of a rectangle is 14. Perimeter P equals to 2 into bracket length plus breadth, or 2L plus 2B. 2 times length plus 2 into bracket length plus breadth. If we open the bracket, we have 2L plus 2B. So a perimeter. Now we are told that the perimeter is 14 and the length is x. Express the breadth B in terms of s. So what we are looking for B. So what we have x plus b equals 14 divided by 2. That's 7. So x plus b equals 7. So b, which is our breadth, will be 7. This x will come this way, minus x. So the breadth will be 7 minus the length. That is the answer. Another Waec question. Another Waec question. A rectangle has one side equal to a rectangle has one side equal to 2x plus 4 centimeter and a perimeter of 6x plus 4 centimeter. What is the area of the rectangle? What is the area of the rectangle in terms of x? Here we are dealing with perimeter and area. Perimeter P equals 2 into bracket length plus breadth, while area is length times breadth. So we have been given one side. Let's say is length, is one side 2x plus 4. Let's call it length. So perimeter equals 6x plus 4. Length equals 2x plus 4. So what's our B? So our B will be our B is unknown. So how do we solve this question? P is equal to 2 into bracket length plus breadth. Let's come this way. We say perimeter 6x plus 4 equals 2 into bracket 2x plus 4 plus b. That's 6x plus 4 into 4x plus 8 plus b. So our b will be 6x minus 4x plus 4 minus 8. So b will be 2x minus 4. This is our breadth from here. If we collect like times, we are looking for b. So b will be 6 minus 4 minus 8. So now we want to look for area. Area is length times breadth. What is length? 2x plus 4 times breadth, 2x minus 4 centimeter square. This is our area. Length 2x plus 4, breadth 2x minus 4. That's our area. Let's look at yet another Waec question on algebra. A boy's age is X years. A boy's age is X years. And his father's age is 4 times as old. Find the father's age in Y years. Find the father's age in Y years. How do we solve this question? A boy's age is X years. So boy be X years old. The father's age is 4 times. Father will be 4 times X. That's 4x. 4 times. I'll find the father's age in Y years. So in Y years to come, the father will be, already is 4x. So in Y years to come, it will be 4x plus Y years old. In 2 years to come, it will be 4x plus 2 years old. In 10 years to come, it will be 4x plus 10 years old. So in Y years, it will be 4x plus Y years old. This is the answer of this question. Another Waec question. P years ago, a man's age was P years ago. A man's age was Q plus R. Q plus R. Q plus R times that of his son. Times that of his son, who was then R years old. Who was then R years old. How old is the man now? How old is the man now? How do we solve this question? P years ago, a man's age was Q times R times that of his son, who was R. So the son's age is just R years old. But the man's age, that time that the son was R years old, the man's age was Q plus R. They said times that of R. So P years ago, the man's age was this. 2 years ago, let's assume P is 2. 2 years ago, a man's age is Q plus R times R, the age of his son. So now, how old will the man be? That will be Q plus R times R plus 2. So it will be Q plus R plus P years old. assume that P is 10 years ago. 10 years ago, the man's age was Q plus R times R, because they said times that of his son who was R. So the son is R, the man is Q plus R times R. That's 10 years ago. So now, the man will be Q plus R into bracket R plus 10. Now we are not saying 10, we are saying P, because P could be 10, could be 2, could be 25. It will now be Q plus R into bracket R, that the man was P years ago, plus the P to get the man's age now. I want to believe with some of these examples, we've been able to have a grip, little mastery, understanding of what algebra is. In our next class, we are going to delve more into the algebra topic. Thank you. We want you to like, subscribe, share for students that might need topics like this or having issues with topics like this. And with these tutorials, with this series of class, I'm sure that the maths phobia and anxiety will be a thing of the past. Meet you in the next class of algebra.